reasons for that, but partly because he got support from all over the electorate. Eileen's in Sydenham. Hello, Eileen.
Hello, hi.
Hello, what would you like to say?
Well, I'm intrigued by quite a lot of things. The main point I phoned in to say was that this naming Jeremy Corbyn as the hard left and banging on about Marxism and stuff. Well, if you go to...
he's been banging on about it himself.
If you go to a Scandinavian country, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, you will find that their policies are very much similar to Jeremy Corbyn's policies, and they're just social democracies. Now, the guy who used to be Prime Minister of Norway is now a big noise in NATO, and his policies were virtually, Jeremy Corbyn's policies.
I don't know how do you think that?
It's only here that we are fed this information, apparent information, that he's hard left. He's just a social democrat. I mean, I think it's nonsense. And it just goes on. You see, the thing is, you've had 2 years now to vilify this man in the press. Now you're turning around and giving him a fair hearing. It's too late. You know damn well it's too late.
Well,
that's exactly what...
Does he support unilateral disarmament? Yes or no?
Yes, I think he probably does. What's wrong with that?
No. Hang on, Eileen.
You might have Trident, but other European countries do not have nuclear deterrents. You don't need them.
You just said that he's not hard left. I'm going to ask you a series of questions to prove that he can be described as hard left. I would say supporting unilateral disarmament certainly is one aspect of hard left policy.
You call that hard left?
Yeah, I do.
I call it hard left. I call it peace. I'd call it a man of peace.
Well, you can call it what you like, but it's a marginal view. If you do polls on this,
can call it what you
fine.
Like.
But it appeals to maybe 15.
You are calling it what you like.
Absolutely, that's my job. That's your job to say what you think. But it's about 15% of the electorate, if that, would support that as a policy. Would you agree with that?
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I remember
the people I know would certainly.
Well, we clearly mix in very different circles, Eileen. I know very few people who would.
15% from.
I completely made it up, and I think it's an exaggeration actually thinking about it. I think it's probably 5%. What do you think it is? 50%?
Oh, goodness, I would say it was at least, even if it wasn't half, it was getting on for half. But even if it wasn't, people are fed things. And as you well know, people, especially English people, we like to follow. We like to stand in queues. We like to follow people. And it's very easy to mislead a country
do you think... Well, I don't think people are stupid. I think people can work things out for themselves. Well, you did, because you
I said people
you
like
did.
to follow.
You said, exactly.
No, I said
so they haven't got the intelligence to question authority. That's what the implication is.
No,
but that was the implication.
People like to follow.
That was the implication.
What I want to say is that the type of English person does like to follow a leader. That's what we're like as a country.
Yeah.
We're not revolutionaries.
And Theresa May, people see as a leader more than they do Jeremy Corbyn, don't they? That's the problem.
2 years of the entire media, which, as he says, is owned by
It's just not true.
It is true. I've heard you. I've listened to you for a long time. And suddenly you say, "Oh, let's invite him on to have a chat."
I've been inviting him on for 2 years.
You have not.
I absolutely have. Do you want me to send you all the emails I've sent to his office, all the exchanges I've had with his people?
If it would make you feel better, you could. All I can say is that these ridiculous hard left branches, it's ridiculous. We're a laughing stock in Europe. Surely you know that.
Why is that?
Because we talk about this hard left nonsense when most of Europe is social democracy.
Yeah, but social democracy is not the same as hard left.
In this bubble, oh come on, you're calling it hard left.
Well,
you're just calling it hard left.
I think Jeremy Corbyn would call himself that.
No, he would
Yes,
not.
he would.
He's a socialist.
Exactly.
He's a socialist.
Which in today's modern parlance is hard left.
You're telling me a socialist?
A socialist is very different from social democracy.
No, but you talk about it as if it's a bad thing.
David Owen and Roy Jenkins were social democrats. Jeremy Corbyn is a down-the-line socialist.
Privatisation. What is bad about saving the NHS from privatisation? What is bad
about a false threat.
Taxing the corporations more and realistically, so that people are not having to go to food banks to earn $7.50 an hour? I was earning more in the 1980s as a temporary secretary. For goodness sake, if you really think that people are not up in arms and actually going to go and vote this time, I think you're in for a shock.
And you think Jeremy Corbyn is going to win a majority?
Well, I'm not ruling it out. I think it's a hard road because of what you guys have done in the media, but I'm still not ruling it out.
It really is, and I'm not calling you a scoundrel, Eileen, but it is the last refuge of the scoundrel to blame election results on the media.
People do not like the truth.
Well, it's not the truth.
Do not like
it's fake news, Eileen. That's what you're promulgating.
Fake news. I listen to it every day on LBC.
And you
I listen to it.
And you know.
There's 2 presenters who don't do it. You know that.
No, well, there are lots of presenters that don't do it, as you put it.
Who don't slate Jeremy Corbyn. Come on, you know that as well as I do.
No, I absolutely don't know that.
Oh, of course you don't. Goodness sake. It's pathetic. Anyway, do you come June the 9th? Let's see what happens.
Look, Eileen, will you make a promise? Will you ring me up on June the 9th?
For what purpose? So you can gloat?
What? Oh, so you're admitting defeat?
No, I'm asking you for what purpose?
Well, because I would like to hear your reaction on June the 9th. If you don't want to, that's fair enough, but I'd like to hear from you on June the 9th.
So would you like to hear from all sorts of people on June the 9th?
I'd like to...
People who are Corbyn supporters?
No, I can't win, can I? When I say, let's hear from all Corbyn supporters, I then get accused of being anti-Corbyn.
Well, I tell you what, if on June the 9th we have the Tories voted in again, I won't be ringing you because I will be seriously troubled about the state of our country.
Oh dear. Eileen, thank you very much indeed.